Hey everyone, Doc is here and I'm back with another Albion Online guide for you. As you know, Albion Online is an MMORPG that requires a lot of grinding. However, many new players waste tons of time on the wrong builds simply because they don't know which weapon to start with. Picking the right weapon can speed up your progress and even multiply your in-game earnings. So I'm here today to introduce you to 5 weapons that every new player should try. In this video, I will break down the details so that by the end you will be ready to jump straight into money making. So let's get started. The first weapon I want to introduce is the Battle Axe. This weapon has been a solid choice for new players for a long time. Let's take a look at its abilities first and you will see why. The Q abilities allow you to apply bleeding stacks either to a single target or multiple enemies. These stacks help you maintain pressure on your opponents. The Battle Axe is designed for brawling and sustain. It is well known W ability Adrenaline Rush increases your attack speed and movement speed, giving you both offensive and defensive advantages when needed. What makes the Battle Axe truly unique is its E ability, which has 2 casts. The first cast deals damage based on the number of bleeding stacks on the enemy, and the second cast heals you based on those stacks. This makes the Battle Axe an excellent weapon for PvE farming and even outnumbered PvP fights. Another great advantage of this weapon is that it can be used with an offhand. Offhands provide different buffs depending on your choice. For example, you can reduce cooldowns with a Mist Collar or increase your damage with a Muizak. The meta build for this weapon is shown here on your screen. Let's talk about the basic rotation with this weapon. The Battle Axe is a great choice for brawling, and if you are using it for PvP, you can apply early pressure with Adrenaline Rush and your Q ability. Once you get 3 Q stacks on your target, you can use your E ability for damage. However, never use both E casts back to back. This will put it on a long cooldown. Instead, save the second cast for when you need to heal and sustain in the fights. Your Mercenary Jacket provides great healing, and when paired with a Muizak, it significantly increases the amount of health restored. Using Soldier Boots or any plate boots will give you passive defensive buffs and some extra sustain. Now let's talk about a perfect weapon for PvE, the Nature Staff. After the buffs and reworks to its Q and W abilities, this weapon has become an amazing option for new players looking to fame farm and grind PvE content. With strong damage sources from Q and W, along with a powerful heal on E, the Nature Staff is a fantastic choice for PvE. Most Nature Staffs work well for this purpose, and pairing it with an Assassin Jacket, Mage Cowl, and Soldier Boots makes for an efficient open world fame farm build. However, since this weapon works well with different armor sets, you can swap pieces depending on what gear you want to spec up. Q ability adds bonus damage to your auto attacks, applies damage over time and slow enemies. W ability will deal high burst damage and applies an interrupt effect to your targets. While it may not be the best option for solo PvP, it's a solid and reliable pick for PvE farm. Now let's talk about a deadly weapon for both PvP and PvE, and it's incredibly simple, the Curse Staff. This weapon has been a go-to choice for new players for ganking for a long time. Why? Because it's super simple to use and it works. Here is how it works. When you stack your Q ability on an enemy, they will take damage over time. Then, when you use your E ability, you can deal devastating damage based on the Q stacks you apply to the enemy. For the W ability, you have 2 powerful options. For ganking, use Roots, and for head-to-head fights use Laser Beam. The Curse Staff also shines in PvE. With Laser Beam, high damage from E, and the last Q, PvE becomes almost effortless. If you are new to this weapon, a sustaining build with Muzak, Mercenary Jacket, and Guardian Helmet, or maybe Hunter Hood is one of the best options for you. Using Soldier Boots with the Curse Staff is almost essential. They provide excellent mobility for this weapon. The Curse Staff is perfect for brawling, but it still has decent kite potential. Even with low IP, you can still achieve good results with this weapon. Thank you so much for watching this far into the video. Before we move on, please make sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel. The fourth weapon I want to introduce is the Fire Staff, and it's incredibly easy to use. This weapon belongs to the mage category and you can easily use it for both PvP and PvE. For PvE, the Q and W AoE abilities make farming super easy, and the E ability deals massive damage to your enemy in D1 and stats. In PvP, you have two main playstyles, Brawl or Kite. Personally, I prefer the Kite style, and the abilities for both styles are shown on your screen. Kiting with the Fire Staff is done with the third Q ability, which launches fire at the direction of your choice. All you have to do is drag your opponent towards you, then use your E ability along with the speed buff from W to finish your enemy. A solid build for the Fire Staff includes Cleric Robe, Hunter Hood, Guardian Helmet, Soldier Boots, and for the offhand you can choose Mist Color for kiting or Tome of Spells for brawling. The only downside of this build is low mobility, which makes it a little bit harder for some situations to play with. Last weapon I want to introduce is the Dual Sword, which is super easy to use and in my opinion is one of the best weapons that you can even play with on mobile. The Dual Swords belong to the Sword family, which is known for its great mobility. With this weapon, the more Q stacks you have, the faster your attack speed and movement speed become. This makes it one of the top choices for solo ganking as well as for PvE and PvP. The Dual Sword is very popular among new players, thanks to its easy to use E ability and high damage it deals. When combined with Mercenary Jacket, it becomes even stronger. As you know, the E ability increases your attack speed and damage, making it easy to heal with Mercenary Jacket during fights. Pairing this build with Soldier Boots and Hunter Hood will provide you with strong defensive stats and excellent brawling potentials. The W ability is frequently used to root your enemy, helping you land combos with both W and E. Well, that's the end of the video. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch, and I wish you all the best of luck in your Albion Online adventures. See you in the next video.